Miami Dolphin fans, what's going on? Mitchell Renz here from Chat Sports, ready to give you guys the news and rumors around Xavien Howard, plus 5 teams that could potentially trade for him. Now, I don't know about y'all, but I am sicker than balls, but luckily my balls look amazing thanks to Manscaped. Head on over to manscaped.com and make sure you use promo code DOLPHINS to save 20% off and get free shipping on the best male grooming products out there. Now, since Manscaped is turning on the lights around here and maybe turning on your girl as well, I wanted you guys to show them a little bit of love down in the comments section. So the first people that go down and type balls, we're going to give some shout-outs on next week's show. So if you could, show Manscaped a little bit of love. Go down there and type balls, and if anybody has already bought some Manscaped products, please let me know which ones you got. I'd be really, really excited to see what you guys ultimately did get. But remember, it's manscaped.com, promo code DOLPHINS to save 20% off and get free shipping on the best male grooming products out there. And you know what? If you forgot anything for Father's Day, you can also get them something special now. Xavien Howard, what's the latest going on around the cornerback of the Miami Dolphins? Right now, the latest report is he is, in quotes, dug in for a pay raise. We've been talking about this story for months, and I know a lot of the people who watch a lot of our Dolphins Today videos got upset with me and got upset with some other guys here at Chat Sports talking about the rumors around Howard because everyone was like, don't panic, he's going to be there, he's going to be at mandatory minicamp, he's fine with his contract. As we've seen, he decided not to go to mandatory minicamp. He's not very happy with his contract, and now there are multiple credible sources out there that say he's unhappy, he wants a contract extension, he wants a raise, he wants more guaranteed money, and if he doesn't get those things, he is actually willing to potentially move on and seek other teams that are willing to pay him that type of money. Now, I understand from a Howard standpoint, and I understand from a agent standpoint where you're having a guy who's coming off a year with 10 picks, 20 pass breakups, finished third in the voting for defensive MVP. But then there's a lot of Dolphin fans out there that are like, wait a minute, we just gave you a contract extension back in 2019. Why can't you just stick to that? Because guess what? You signed the dotted line. So here's a pretty interesting quote from Barry Jackson of the Miami Herald. Xavien Howard remains adamant about getting more money. The fact others have received new deals, including Jason Sanders, which I'm just going to say this right now. Jason Sanders is a good kicker. He got 5 years, $22 million, but that's nothing compared to what Xavien Howard's going to end up getting. Nothing personal. Has made Xavien dig in a little bit more. If he doesn't get a new deal with more money, this could stretch well into August. Brian Flores in 2019 was asked about star talent, and I thought this quote was kind of interesting because, let's face it, Xavien Howard is absolutely a star player. So this is what the head coach of the Dolphins had to say back in 2019. It's a team game. Stars are kind of a me thing. I guess I'm not. It's a team game. There are 11 guys out there, and they have to work together. If you have a star that wants to do his own thing, that just doesn't work. I'm off the put the team first mantra, and these so-called stars need to be on that page on this team. Hopefully, that answers your question. It definitely answers my question on whether or not what Brian Flores could potentially do with Xavien Howard if this does continue to go into August. But what do y'all think? That's what we do here at Chat Sports. We ask questions, and I'm going to be down in the comments. I'm going to be looking to see what you guys had to say. Will Xavien Howard be on the Dolphins next season? I want you to type Y for yes, or I want you to go down in the comments section and type your N for no. The biggest issue right now for Howard is this contract. Now, he did sign a new deal, and at the time it was 5 years, $75 million. But what I'm hearing is he's upset about the guaranteed dollars because in 2021, he's got $12 million guaranteed. In 2022, 2023, and 2024, these are his cap hits here, but there's no dollars guaranteed. So from Howard's standpoint, he's like, wait a minute, I want some guaranteed dollar bills just in case injury happens. But that's another reason why I'm like, I don't really know if I want to give this guy a new contract because, don't get me wrong, the numbers over here, they're insane. He is a phenomenal athlete. He's a phenomenal corner. But if you are honest with yourself and honest with this football team, can you look at me in the eyes and say, I can guarantee you Xavien Howard's going to play for 14 games this year? I can't do that. If you could guarantee me it, guess what? I'd send him the bill, maybe myself, if I could afford it. But that's just simply not going to happen. And if you are going to pay Howard, because coming off a 10 INT season, and if he's not happy with his current contract, I'm guessing his agent is going to be like, you know what? I want Jalen Ramsey, Marlon Humphrey type of money. Maybe he settles for something like Tre'Davious White. However, I just don't see that one personally happening, especially because of the way contracts work. One guy gets something, and then there is a little bit of a raise. But since the cap is down or a little bit lower this year, maybe he is willing to take a lesser amount. However, I see Howard, and I see him being aggressive. So what I want to be able to show you all is like how Jalen Ramsey's contract gets broken down, and we're about to get into my projection of what Howard could potentially get. But before I ask you all those questions, I at least want to give you a little bit of background information on Ramsey's contract. 5 years, $100 million total. You're looking at $20 million per year, $71.2 million guaranteed. Marlon Humphrey's contract was 5 years, $97.5. His average was 19.5, and then the guaranteed dollars, 67.3. So the question is going to be like, what exactly could he get? I'm going to go here with a 4-year projected contract for Xavien Howard, which basically is like he's just going to keep the 4 years that he already has. He just wants a little bit more money, and he just wants more guarantees. So the 4 years, $78 million. He's going to be making Marlon Humphrey 19.5. And then in terms of the guaranteed, Jalen Ramsey's contract was 71% guaranteed. That's where I went here with Xavien Howard. So after seeing that projected contract, 4 years, $78 million, 19.5 per year. You're looking at about $55 million guaranteed. Now, again, that's not official. That is my projection of what Howard, I think, personally wants. So what's your one-word reaction to that? Because if that's a big-time number and you can't believe that I'm saying it, I get it, but I do want to know, what's your one-word reaction to that contract projection? If the Dolphins do extend Howard, or if Howard is traded, I can guarantee you this. We're going to be breaking it down for y'all here on Dolphins Today. To make sure that you don't miss this video, to make sure you don't miss any videos, if you want to see if I still made it past the weekend even though I'm sick, hey, it's all good. Hit that big red button underneath this video and subscribe. And if you like what we do around here, we consider ourselves family. YouTube.com/Dolphins News. Send it to some big-time fans and be like, hey, these guys over at Chat Sports, they do a pretty damn good job keeping me up to date. We would appreciate it because it is how we keep the lights on around here. So coming up now here on Dolphins Today, I'm going to get into 5 Howard trade destinations because you have to be able to look at it, right? If the Dolphins are not willing to give Howard his contract, and if Brian Flores is like, all right, if you're going to act like a star and you don't want to put the team first, then maybe he says, hasta la vista, baby. So what I want to be able to show you all is 5 teams that probably make the most sense going out and trading for a star caliber player like Howard. The first team coming up here is the Seattle Seahawks. The biggest issue for them, it's probably draft capital because you're hoping that you're going to get at least a first-round pick, right? Seattle, they don't have a first-round pick in this year's draft, so maybe they give up a little bit more picks in the future. But Seattle's defense last season really struggled against the pass, and no disrespect to Reed or Witherspoon, I mean, let's face it, Howard's going to be the number 1 cornerback on just about every single team that I show y'all on today's show. So Seahawks, that was the first team I brought up. I also want to say that, like, these are not in any kind of order. It's more of just like, hey, this is where I think some 5 teams could potentially be. Next team coming up here is the Pittsburgh Steelers. They're in all-in mode right now. They struggled down this stretch of the season, not due to their defense, but due to the offense. So if you're trying to put a few extra players here and there and give Hayden another guy on the right side, because no disrespect to Lane, again, he's not Xavien Howard. For the Steelers, you're going up against the Browns, you're going up against the Ravens. You need to be able to compete in this division. And if you add somebody like Howard, you could make a legitimate argument that this is probably one of the better secondaries, if not one of the best secondaries in the entire National Football League. So if you are trying to nickel and dime here and there, but all I'm saying is this, the Steelers, they do make quite a bit of sense. Now, something that also makes a lot of sense, and is actually going to save you a few cents as well, is taking care of your downstairs. If your junk literally looks like junk, why don't you fix that right now? I want you guys to head on over to Manscaped.com and use promo code Dolphins, where y'all can save 20% and get free shipping on the best male grooming products out there. What exactly comes in the perfect package? You get the Lawnmower 4.0, ball toner, which is literally like ball cologne for, make sure you smell great down there. Ball deodorant because it's hotter than balls in Miami, and shit, it's like hotter than balls just about anywhere right now in June. The most comfortable boxers you will ever own, and usually this is $109.99, but we're going to cut that price down for you at $87.99. 4th of July is right around the corner, and again, if you missed getting yourself something nice on Father's Day, these deals are pretty awesome. Manscaped.com, promo code Dolphins. It'll be in the comments. It'll be in the description. All right, let's go to the third team here, the San Francisco 49ers. They've been linked to Richard Sherman in terms of being interested in him in free agency, But you're also looking at a team that they decided to bring back Jason Verrett. And Jason Verrett is a very talented piece. However, he's got a lot of injury issues himself. So what happens if Verrett goes down? Then you're going to rely on Mosley? Are you going to try to stick out Webster, Johnson? Like, those are not reliable names. And for a team that believes that they're in a Super Bowl window, guess what? Make a move for Howard, give up a first-round pick and a little bit more. I do think it's something pretty interesting, and they have the cap space. All right, let's go to the Washington football team now. If Washington adds Xavien Howard, I'll say right now this is the best defense in the entire league. And if you have a chance to be the best defense in the entire league, coming off a 7-9 year where you won your division, it's something to think about. Now, you added Kendall Fuller. You also added William Jackson in free agency, but why not put Fuller and the nickel? No disrespect to Jimmy Moreland. You could put Fuller at the position where I think he's personally his best at. You have William Jackson, who's a top 10, maybe top 12 corner, and then you also throw in Howard. That's lockdown, if you ask me. The last team I'm going to bring up here, and they don't have too much money to be able to work with, but it's the Arizona Cardinals in terms of best fit for Howard and for Arizona being in all-in mode right now. This would make a lot of sense. So they lost Patrick Peterson. You could probably put Byron Murphy. He's more than likely going to be that nickel corner. And then you have Malcolm Butler. You can also throw in then Howard over Alford. I mean, that's three very, very talented corners. And heck, even Byron Murphy's been thrown around in some trade rumors himself. So the 5 teams that I think make the most sense to go out and trade for Xavien Howard, if the Miami Dolphins can't agree to a contract, it's these 5 right here. If you disagree with me, you guys know what to do. So let me know, what would you trade Howard for? Because obviously you're not going to give him up for a bag of potato chips. If it's Lay's, no. If it's Ruffles, I'll at least think about it. If you disagree on my chip takes, let me know. But what would you trade Howard for? If you get anything less than a first and a 4th round pick, I think you lost the trade, right? And I get that he wants to get paid. The biggest reason why I'm saying you better get at least a first and you better get at least a 4th round pick, like I'm talking about in the same year, like 2022, first and a 4th. And the reason why I say that is because you got to go back to the Jalen Ramsey deal where the Jags got 2 first-rounders. You're talking 2 first-round picks, and I'll still say Jalen Ramsey is a better corner than X. He's a lot more reliable, and he's been a lot more consistent in his young career. However, 2 first-round picks for a cornerback, and they paid him to be the most expensive corner in the league, you better get at least a first and a 4th. So how about this question? I'm probably going to end it on this. Is Xavien Howard a top 5 cornerback? Give me a 5 for yes or type 0 for no. If you're typing your 0 for no, then you should probably move on from X and trade him because I'm not going to pay him top 2, top 3 cornerback money. If you're typing your 5 for yes, that makes this whole debate a little bit more interesting.